So Donner has done it again. This is, oh God, these bugs don't land on my finger. This is the Donner Hush X electric guitar. This is the next generation in their Hush series. I demoed their Hush I acoustic guitar sometime last year, and I thought it was great, and so did you guys. A lot of you who ended up buying it because of my video, thank you by the way, and then you commented saying what you thought about it. You guys thought very highly of it. So when Donner reached out to me to demo their electric version of it, I jumped right on it. So I'm just really stoked to show you guys and demo this one. If you're familiar with my channel, you know how this goes. I will break down everything you need to know about this guitar. I'll tell you about all the features, give you my honest thoughts and opinions for both how it plays at a bedroom level or even a gigging level. But most importantly, I'm gonna help you decide if this is right for you. And of course, I forgot to mention, I will also be giving you some sound examples. Now, first things first, the Hush I guitar that I talked about earlier, that was an acoustic guitar. Well, an acoustic electric, you get what I'm saying. Whereas the Hush X is considered an electric. Now, they both have like a similar body shape, besides the pickups and things like that. I mean, it's pretty much a copy of it, but they do have a lot of updated features. Now, the biggest and most important one, I think, is the body stands. Putting these in on the Hush I guitar, you had to like screw it in, and it wasn't that quick. Now, it didn't take forever, but it could have been a pain in the ass, especially because when you have a travel guitar, you kind of want to just pick it up and go whenever you can. And the Hush I wouldn't fit in the bag unless you took them off, so you had to take them off every time and things like that. But now the updated feature is that you can simply take these off like that. And as easy it is to take off, it's even easier to put in. Voila. Whoops. Voila. Same thing for this. This is the biggest thing that I noticed about it so far. So the tear down and build up, I guess you can say, when you put it back in the case and take it out is so much faster. Great job, Donner. Just an overall more user-friendly experience. Now, as you can see, we have two pickups in here. We have a pickup selector switch for the humbucker. Then we have the middle position for the humbucker and single coil, and then single coil. Now, you'll hear him in a second, but it's really bright sounding in a good way. It gives you a full, warm, and bright sound. I'm honestly really impressed with the sound of it. I just had a buddy come over to jam and he gave it a shot and he was also impressed. It's getting hot in here. I had to turn the AC off because it's so loud. Not that it really works that well anyway. You also got two knobs that are sort of built into each other. Love that feature. So you have a volume and a tone knob. Now, another feature is the headless design with customized string locking technology. It has a stable tuning system and a pretty ergonomic, is that how you say that word? Yeah, I think so. Ergonomic design that actually feels pretty comfortable to play, although I will admit it doesn't look like it would be comfortable. Now, being a travel guitar, they made this super lightweight, like, that's exactly what one of the most important features in a travel guitar. Lugging around a heavy travel-friendly guitar would not be very travel-friendly, would it? It's got an asymmetrical neck, which is super, super comfortable and very easy to play and solo, even chords, bar chords. You guys will get them. I know the ones that struggle with bar chords. It'll be easier on this guitar. I did bring this to a band practice and I put a guitar strap on it. It did feel weird at first, I will admit that, because I'm just so used to playing my 335, which has a huge body. This is much smaller. So it did take a little bit to get used to, but after like 20 minutes, it felt great and I sort of like it. I love the small, lightweight design. I'm just used to playing like Les Pauls, 335s. Les Pauls are just ridiculously heavy. And I was playing it through a Fender tube amp. I honestly forget which amp it was. Maybe like a Super Reverb. Played it through pedals. Sounded great. Now right here on the guitar, we have a passive and active switch. We have a headphone out. You want to be quiet so you don't piss the neighbors off. Stop beeping, you're ruining my video. We have an aux jack as well, and then obviously a 1/4" input to plug it into an amp. Now, if all that wasn't enough, it also comes with picks, a strap, a tuner, and all those fun little goodies, which also helps make it a really good beginner guitar because it gives you really everything you need. Oh, and also even gives you a guitar cable. Now, it also isn't just for beginners, even though I just said that. It can really honestly be for any skill level because the sounds and feel of it is insanely impressive. It doesn't feel like a beginner guitar. It kind of looks like it, but it's not. And you're gonna hear these sounds for yourself right now, so let's jump right into them. Basically, what I'm gonna do is just give you a clean sound with like a Fender style amp with each of those pickup selections. Then I'll do the same thing for like a mid-drive, like a Vox style amp, and then a Marshall style amp. So you're gonna hear a whole wide range of different tones because a lot of people have different setups. So if you have a Fender amp, then you're gonna really hear what this would sound like through it. If you have a Vox, a Marshall, you're gonna hear all of those. Then I'll talk about those sounds and the playability right after. Okay, so for the clean tones, really impressive. My favorite sound is the middle pickup position for the clean tones. That's sort of my favorite position in a lot of guitars because it gives you the sort of the best of both worlds and literally of the single coil and the humbucker. Now I also like the middle position tones with like a little bit more gain, but once I get into the gain realm, like with the Vox and Marshall examples, I really do much prefer the humbucker over the single coil, but that's just my preference with any guitar sound. When I first plugged this in, my first thoughts was that I'm only really gonna like the cleanish sounds, but I ended up loving all of the sounds. The overdrive sounds ridiculously good, especially if you play like those rock and blues licks, but like this thing could handle like metal even if you really wanted it to. But I think this sort of falls in the range of like that John Mayer kind of tone, but also like a Joe Satriani, Joe Bonamassa thing it can do, Eric Johnson it can do pretty well. So it's pretty versatile in like those genre of like rock and blues. And then any sort of clean genre guitar, indie pop music, funk, jazz, it's killer. So with that being said, this guitar can be for a lot of different people. It can be from beginner, intermediate, bedroom guitarists to advanced session and touring guitar players. And for sounding so good and being so travel friendly, a really all-in-one package. Now, like I said before, you lose all of the other features you get with like a solid bodied, normal sized electric guitar, but that's pretty obvious. And honestly, I think it's the perfect beginner guitar because there's a lot of beginner guitars out there that don't feel great to play. And as a beginner, you want a guitar that feels good because a lot of those beginner guitars aren't built the greatest. And a lot of people who pick up the guitar normally pick up a guitar that's been like sitting around their house for God knows how long. The strings are all rusted, the neck's all warped. It's just harder to play, therefore making it a lot more frustrating to learn. But this is super easy and you can learn scales and chords without having any issues. And I'd argue you learn those things much faster on something like this. But that's also a double-edged sword because when you go to play like an actual acoustic guitar or an actual electric guitar, the adjustment might be a little hard for you. That's just something to remember. So here are my honest and final thoughts. This is a great guitar that I personally like much more than the Hush I acoustic electric guitar. Now that's probably because I consider myself more of an electric player. So if you're more of an acoustic style player, then maybe the Hush I would be much better for you, and I'll link that up here and also in the description if you want to check that out. They both have similar bodies. Obviously this one has the more updated features that I was talking about earlier. Donner has honestly impressed me since they first started sending me guitars like 2 years ago. Those beginner Strat guitars were pretty unreal for the price, and then I saw that they were getting more into ergonomic, I said it right that time, guitars like this, and they just keep getting better and better, and they're not paying me to say that at all. They're not paying me to make this video. They did send me this guitar for free though. But they've sent me stuff before that I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of, and those videos are on my channel and you'll see them. But this thing is just great, honestly. So what are your thoughts on this Donner Hush X guitar? Do you think this is something that would work really great for your situation? Tell me your honest thoughts about how you think it looks. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna have mixed reactions to that, or just your overall thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, if you did dig this guitar, you might like other things sort of like this in the realm of music gear, guitar gear. You can check out these videos right here. Thank you as always for watching. I appreciate your continued support, and I guess I should mention the gear that I was using in this video. Now the amp that I used was the Direct amp from Quilter Labs. It's a new release they had a couple weeks ago. It has the Fender, Vox, and Marshall Sims with different speaker options, and you can do open back or closed back cab, all those things. So I just picked that because it had the most versatile amp selections. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. I'm gonna clean up this beer now.